Hello. Big question we get is how to apply for Medicare. And I want to go over that right briefly with you, at least give you a walkthrough so it doesn't feel so foreign when you give it a try on your own here. Um, Big thing to apply is they're going to want you to do it online. You could certainly call in or go into the Social Security office, but you're going to find that they're going to try to push you to do it online and be less supportive. If you call in, they can certainly help you make an appointment, but they will schedule that phone appointment with them for about a month or 2 months out, depending on how busy they are. So if you want it done quickly, the best way is to knock it out online, and then you can trace that progress of your application as well as check in on it. But let's get started. There's two ways to do it. You could either go right here on the homepage, ssa.gov, hit sign up for Medicare, or if you have an account, you will sign in on your account online where you'll click sign in, whichever one of these you have. If not, the main thing is you're going to be over here, right? And so the way that works is they all lead to think of it as two doors to get to the same room. We'll start with this door because it's the more difficult one and likely the one most of you are going to be at. So if you haven't already created an account, go ahead and click here, sign up for Medicare. Scroll down a little bit. You have these two options. If you don't have Part A and you're looking to apply for A and B, you're going to want to apply online right here. If you're looking to just add Part B, you would click here. It's going to entice you to enroll online. You can, I will just say, for whatever reason, this part of their application system seems to be held over from COVID, and it doesn't seem to connect properly. We have a lot of issues with that part going through. Kind of the surefire thing is still the old paper method form where you would print out your Part B application here, and then your L564 form, which is a piece you'll have the employer complete saying that when your employer coverage ends to add Part B. And you'll take both of these and take them down to any Social Security office, and then they can go ahead and get that processed for you pretty quickly. That's one they do not mind you doing in person. For everyone else, we're going to go back to the sign up for Medicare page here. You'll click apply online. It's going to pop up this page right here. Basically, the I understand I'm doing business online form. Move this so I can see my button there. Click. There we go. Scroll down. You're going to hit start an application. Unless you're returning with an application, you'll have a number that it would have given you to come back into it. But generally hit start a new application. No matter who you are, you're going to hit I'm applying for myself technically. Do you have a My Social Security account? If you do, you'll say yes, and it's just going to prompt you to log in. And once you log in on a My Social Security account, it'll show like your Social Security statements and your earnings history. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there'll be a section that says Medicare, and you'll hit apply for Medicare. For everyone else, you're going to hit no, and it asks if you have an address in the United States. You hit yes. And that's important here in a second. It takes you to the same login page nonetheless. You're going to hit I don't have an account, so it's going to be create a new account with login.gov. Hit create an account. I'm going to use her account. Create an account here, and you'll put in an email. You have to put in an email. Let's see family members. I'll put mine. English, I accept the terms and submit. It's going to send you a confirmation email, right? Where in that email, I have a link that you click that'll go ahead and verify your email and pull up the next stage of creating an account with login.gov. It'll very likely next ask you for another way of verifying, whether that's using your cell phone, a code generator, if your phone has biometrics like a Face ID or fingerprint. I like just hitting cell phone or a text message, it'll say. That one's the easiest, something you'll all have access to generally. And so you'll click that, you'll put in your cell phone number, and it's going to text you a code. And then you'll punch in that code on the computer, and it'll go ahead and let you move forward to the next step. Part of why that's important, why I like it anyway, is even if you have somebody like us helping you with this application where we help you log in and whatnot, if somebody had your login information, they can't access your Social Security account without also having access to your cell phone. Because even if, say, I was to log in from my computer, I couldn't get in because it'll ask for a code that it texted your cell phone, and I would have to enter that code before it would let me in. So like even when I'm helping my father, I have to go ahead and get a code that detects the cell phone before I can get into the next step. And so that's kind of your way of knowing if somebody's trying to log in or mess with your account, because you'll get a text message, and if you didn't try to sign in, then you know somebody else is trying to, right? But the main idea is the next steps I kind of got to describe to you, because you've got to go through your own account on that one. But it'll ask you to go ahead and verify a lot of your basic demographic information: name, address, phone number, social, birthday, all that type of stuff. Now, the information it wants is not updated information. It wants the information that they have on file to confirm it's you. So your social name, and that should be fine, your birthday. But if you have your name, for example, we have a lot of clients who have maybe multiple last names or hyphenated last names. What is the name you put on all your government documents? Generally, what's on your license? Is it both last names? Are they separated by a space or a hyphen? Do you only have certain one of the names on there? Like my wife, for example, she only has one of the names on there and not the others. Or if you go by a certain name normally, you're going to have to put your legal name there. The other thing that hangs people up is if you have an old house phone that you've put on all your government documents back in the day and you haven't gotten a new job or any other reason to update Social Security with your new cell phone number, it's probably going to be an old house phone on there. And same for address. The reason I say that is if you put in all that information and it says the information does not match our system, kind of go through that. Is the name exactly how we have it on all my government documents? Is the phone number an old number? Like we had a family member on ours where they've had the same job for like 30 years, and they had their old house phone on there because that was the number they applied for their job with. They've gotten a cell phone and a couple numbers since then, but they don't. Social Security doesn't have that cell phone. They had the old house phone and that letter in. The other thing is if you've moved, which that usually gets updated, so I don't worry about that one. But if you move recently, maybe they don't have that. You're going to want to put the old address. If that all matches and it puts you through, you'll start the application. If for whatever reason you get hung up there or it doesn't go through, it'll give you the option where they'll mail you a code, paper mail, and they'll confirm the address on file, or they'll actually say they'll mail it to the address on file. So hopefully it's one you live at, but they'll mail you a code. And then what'll happen is it'll code be with A and 6 letters, 6 numbers, I mean, and you'll get that within about 2 weeks. You'll come back in, try to do the same process. It'll ask if you've got a code. You'll hit yes, enter that code. It'll take you to the next step and move you forward, right? So that's the worst case scenario. But if you needed help, we can support you with that. But once you're in, it's going to pre-fill most of your application, name, social, all that, because it's connected to your Social Security account, right? The big questions it's going to ask that you need to answer are, do you want to apply for Part B as well? Because it's generally going to say Part A. And you say, for most of you, it's going to be, yes, I want to do Part B too, unless either us or somebody else told you just want to do Part A. The other question it's going to ask is, do you want to apply for Social Security? So you don't have to. It's optional. It's completely separate. The reason they ask is because there's a lot of overlap between the Medicare application and the Social Security application. So if you hit yes, it's only a few more questions and you can apply for Social Security benefits as well. If not, just hit no and it'll apply for just your Medicare and not mess with Social Security. After that, it usually has a few questions like where you were born and maybe your veteran status or your employment status right now, which won't affect if you're getting Medicare if you're applying because you're new. If you do have current employer coverage, just answer truthfully on that. You want to be truthful with these folks. It shouldn't affect anything. And at the end, they have like a catch-all box, like remarks or anything else you want to add type of box. I always recommend just type out what you want to happen. If you just want Medicare A and B and you don't want Social Security, just type that out. I want to apply just for Part A and B of Medicare. I want to start on my birthday month. I don't want Social Security. Because when the rep goes to process this application, they're going to read that box. And if anything mismatches on the application with what you wanted to happen, they're going to reach out to you and verify it and make sure that it goes through properly, right? So I recommend going through that. And after that, submit your application. You can go in and check the status of it. It used to take about 2 weeks. Sometimes it's taken about up to a month now. I can tell you that if it does draw out too long, like it goes past 30 or 60 days and there's still no movement, like it's just stuck in stage 2 of processing, I recommend giving a call or going down to Social Security office and they might be able to kick that forward for you. But generally, within 3 weeks to a month, you should see that come through. And then you'll get a letter from Social Security saying your Medicare number and when it starts. from there, give us a call. We can move on to the next steps as far as digging into what your plan options are to help supplement that or augment that with you. And we can get that all set up to where everything will roll over right when your birthday month starts and when your Medicare starts. Other than that, if you have questions, reach out to us, 559-366-4734. Or if you have a more local office number that's closer to you, give that one a call for one of our offices, and we'll go from there. Have a good one.